What is up, everyone? Today on Seth Leroy Hustle Adventures, we're going to be going over how our week went. There's the Musco cargo. And we just wanted to see how we did this week. Well, we do know how we did this week, but it wasn't the best week, but whatever. We still made our minimum. Our minimum is usually about at 800, but you know, it is what it is. That's part of this industry. But without further ado, I'm going to kick it off to Sarah, and she can go over how we did this week with our cargo van. Let's go to the numbers.
Hi everybody, I'm back to do my little rundown of what we have made for the week. So I'll just get right into it. So if you guys don't know or you don't remember, our van actually ended up breaking down. Luckily, right when he got home. Not this last week, but the week before. So that's why I didn't do a report last week. It's because we didn't have anything to report. We basically took a whole week off, which was pretty cool. It was nice. I actually ended up working. If you don't know, I am a hairstylist. I work at a Fantastic Sam's. And so with everywhere being so short-staffed, my work included, I was actually able to pick up extra hours. I got to pick up as many extra hours as I wanted and pick the time I wanted to work and the days and everything, and it worked out pretty good. I picked up like 20 extra hours and made like $600. So that was pretty cool. That helped to bridge the gap a little bit. Obviously, you know, we still owe ourselves from what we took out of savings from the week of Seth being out of work. You know, the van repair ended up being like $1,068. And then, you know, we had our bills and everything too. So luckily I was able to make $600 to go towards that, and we'll slowly pay back the van repair and everything. It shouldn't take too long. We'll just live like we're poor for a little while and pay everything back. But anyway, so we ended up getting our van back late Monday. We usually like to start seeing if we can run on Mondays, but we weren't able to get out on Monday since we got the van back so late. So we didn't start running until Tuesday. So Tuesday ended up being a pickup in Minneapolis to Spirit Lake, Iowa. This was a round trip run, so basically he went and picked it up in Minnesota, drove to Iowa, spent the night, woke up in the morning, dropped it off, and he came back home, which was pretty cool. So all that ended up being 423 miles, and he made $400. So yeah, he came back home. I made dinner so that he could eat because I knew he'd probably be home and gone again, you know. And that is what happened. So the next one that he ended up getting, it was one of those 2-drop runs where you pick up somewhere. And you obviously, you know, you drop off in one location and then you go and drop off in another location. So he picked up in Circle Pines, Minnesota. His first drop off was in Waukesha, Wisconsin, and then his second drop off was in Whitewater, Wisconsin. So that ended up being 360 miles, and he got paid $450 for that. So that ended up being pretty good. But this next one though was not very good. So he was supposed to pick up a run from Des Plaines, Illinois. I don't know, I'm probably saying that wrong. To Ohio. And so he went and drove all the way to Illinois. It's basically by Chicago. And when he got there, the people told him that they couldn't find the load to load him with, so they had to cancel that. and that ended up being a whole ordeal. It was pretty crappy because we thought we were, gonna make more money. But so he drove 92 miles to go to that pickup location, and they ended up paying $135 for a cancellation fee. And that was all he made for that day. It was Thursday at that point, and they were looking for another one that he can do. They did end up locking in another run, but it wasn't for until Friday. So, I mean, he had from after that load got canceled until basically the end of the night to find a run, hopefully getting him from Chicago to Wisconsin, where he had to pick up for the next day, but that never happened. So he ended up just driving to Wisconsin that night and went to sleep and picked up the next morning for the run that would ultimately bring him home. Which that run was from Middleton, Wisconsin to Dawson, Minnesota, and it was $550 for 709 miles, because after Dawson, Minnesota, he obviously would just come back home. So he got paid $550 for that. But the problem with that one was there was no plant in Dawson, Minnesota. So he drove all the way to Dawson, Minnesota, and there was nothing there. So he called the contact people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't have a plant in Dawson, Minnesota. We're going to have a plant in Dawson, but you actually have to go to somewhere further south in Minnesota that was like 3 hours away." So they had to figure something out, because obviously, I mean, if it had to happen, it would have had to have happened, but no one was there. It was closed. So he ended up just driving back home with it, and he's going to be delivering it on Monday. And it's like 150 miles away from our house or something, so they're paying him $300. I think they probably should have paid him a little bit more. Well, it's gonna be 300 miles round trip, so 150 down and then 150 back up to home. But I just think for the convenience, it's like, okay, $300. Maybe $350, because you guys were stupid and listed it for a just a nowhere location. Like, how did someone not catch that? And two, they had trackers on him. Like, how could they not have known that he wasn't going in the right spot? Just, I don't know how that wasn't caught. So he ended up just driving somewhere that didn't exist. So weird. But anyways, I'm going to go down my rundown. Because of that cancellation on Thursday, we didn't end up making a lot of money. We made our minimum, like to the dollar. I think we were like $1 off from making our minimum of what we should make. So for all the runs all together, it was $1,585. He spent $584.14 on gas and food. Tax and savings was $207.37. Insurance is $152.25. So we're going to deposit $677.24 into our checking account. And our monthly bills, or not our monthly, our weekly bills each week that we like to have is like $678. So literally we're $1 off from that. And I'm just so annoyed with this whole gas situation. It just sucks because, gas is so much more, but that isn't even taken under consideration at all. It's like we're getting the same, you know, dollar per mile, but it's not being adjusted for how much gas is. I'm sure you guys are dealing with it too, or anybody else who has like a regular job. You know, the price of groceries is going up, everything's going up, gas is going up, but yet nobody's being paid any more money because of all of this inflation crap. And it's just so annoying because, you know, if this were like a couple months ago even, we probably would have made like so much more, not so much more, but still it would have felt like we would have made a little bit more. So I think gas prices has a little bit to do with it, but really it was that job that canceled on us on Thursday because he spent time driving to like the Chicago area to pick it up too. Not a lot of time, but then like sitting there too, like at the location, like trying to figure out what was going on. That took up time. And then we just never got around to getting another one. So whatever. But anyways, I have a new plan in place. Pretty much it's to get ahead because of everything that's happened. So what I want to do is I want to save a week's worth of bills. Plus insurance, you know, a week's worth of insurance. And then I want to put like $500 away for van repairs, at least, just to get ahead on that. So basically, for the next couple months, we're gonna really tighten down and probably live like we're poor, but luckily the weather's getting nicer, so we'll just find a bunch of free things to do, not spend a lot of extra money at all, because we want to put all of our extra money towards the things I mentioned earlier, like our previous van repair. I think we have to pay back the insurance that we missed for that week. And when I say pay back, we're paying ourselves back because we have a really good savings. But when we spend from our savings, we don't just spend from it and say, oh, that's it. Yep, cool. We covered ourselves. It's like, no, now we are in debt to ourselves and we have to pay this money back. So we're in debt to ourselves. So after we pay off the debt that we have to ourselves, then we're going to stack some money for future mishaps. That's going to be in the tune to like $1,300. So yeah, I think that's about as much as like we owe ourselves right now too. So pretty much for the next couple months or so, about $2,600 is just going to be put away, put back into our savings. So we'll get ahead, and then the next time this crap happens to where we're a week behind, it's not like that big of a deal. Like I said, we have a good savings, so when it happens, it's not like that big of a deal. We don't stress out because, you know, we're not like living paycheck to paycheck or anything. But it just sucks because, yeah, we want to build up our money and not feel like we were set back, you know, because we're striving ahead. We have future goals. We want to build up our savings to the best we can, you know. Obviously, who doesn't? Well, actually, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't save any money. So, but like, if our bank account gets to a certain point, I don't even want to tell you. Like, if it gets to be like $10,000, we're like, holy shit. Like, this is like, no. Like, we need to feel sick. We need to feel like we can, like, buy a car or two at any time if we need to. Like, we can, like, replace anything in our house if it's bad. Like, we need to feel like we could quit working for 6 months and not even sweat it, you know? Like, that's the type of, like, savings we like to have. That's real security. So anyways, weeks like this are not going to get us towards, you know, security or anything. Luckily, like I said, I work only 1 day a week. And all that goes towards savings too, so it's It's not like, you know, we just made our minimum this week and then we have nothing to put towards savings because we have whatever I made. So that's good. But yeah, we definitely need some growth in our business. Thinking ahead for the future and to put some money aside so that we're not so in the hole. And even if I put money aside and, you know, we're not in the hole and we end up spending that money, I know I'm just going to want to build that money back up again too. So it is what it is. I don't know. But I do want to be more ahead than we are now. But anyway, thanks for listening to my rambling. You know, I'm just a rambling girl here today. But anyways, hopefully next week I have some good stuff to report to you, and we made a lot of extra money that I can throw away at all this stuff that we owe ourselves, and I'm a happy girl next week. So anyway, thank you for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you next week anyway. Bye. Bye.